So we're back in our space dimension today, and it's time to address something that we have left undone for quite a while, which is the fact that there's no oxygen in space. I should be suffocating right now, but I'm just chilling. Now, I'm not quite sure how we're going to do it, but one idea is we can mimic the suffocation effect that happens in water. And the cool thing about, oh, you can see I updated a bunch of the jigsaw stuff because the engines were open last time. You know, I was just trying to get some B-roll. I was just double checking that everything was good here. And then he hit me really hard, probably because I don't have armor. But yeah, I found a piece of glass just sitting in the build, so had to fix that. Actually, wait a second. Okay, so this is super relevant because this was something I was thinking of last episode, but we didn't get into it because we didn't have time. But basically, if we come inside of these little spaceship things, the idea would be that we could replenish our oxygen in here. And, you know, if we make other things like a big spaceship thing, like somebody suggested, like a space station or whatever, or like an asteroid hideout, there's a lot of ideas. But basically, if we come to these places, we can replenish our oxygen. So not only do we need to figure out how to sort of suffocate the player, we need to figure out how to restore the oxygen as well. So first we need to understand what is controlling, let me clear all that stuff again. What is controlling the air bubbles here? Oh, we have a conduit. You know, that's kind of interesting. We could have conduits give us air in space, maybe? Does that make sense? Well, no, because they need water, right? So I think air is controlled here, but we need it to go down for it to be able to be obvious. Oh, good. We're out of range of the conduit. So this should tell us whether... Yeah, okay. This is how we can control the air. So if we change this air tag... I accidentally choked on an ender pearl. That's a problem. Okay. What? Oh, there's an unluck. What in the world? Okay, I'm getting distracted. So water breathing. I had an idea. What if we give the player water breathing and we give them an amplifier? Must not be less than 0. Okay, let's try putting it at max, 255. Sometimes weird things happen at 255. So there's some water over here. We'll see what happens. Oh, there's a conduit too. All right, conduit is gone. So let's give the 255 water breathing. Kind of seems like it just freezes things. All right, that's not gonna work either. Okay, I'm running out of good ideas. We're getting to the dumb ideas already. Actually, we want fill. Problem with this idea though is I want to place blocks at my head level, but I really don't think that this is going to be very practical because, like, how can you do anything if there's always blocks at your head level? But we'll just see what happens. What? It made me go into crawl mode. Oh, that's kind of cool, actually. Wait, so you can force the player into crawl mode. I feel like people have tried to do that and they couldn't figure it out, and I accidentally just did it with some... Oh, but you would have to keep putting barriers above them, because if I crawl out... Yeah, then I get back up. Wow, so even that didn't work. Okay, so I have an idea. It's very drastic, and I need to know how tall this is. Get out of here. I'm doing experiments. Phantoms never appreciate experiments. Have you ever noticed that with Phantom? Oh wait, I have a pickaxe. Excuse you. He's gonna kill me before I ever learn how tall. I just want to check if it goes all the way to 256, basically. Oh, it goes to 255. Okay, got it. Sea level 255. Save. Okay, and because I'm a man of questionable intelligence, I actually didn't delete the world. So we might see some really laggy water, but that'll be cool maybe. So today we'll be exploring the flooded caverns of space. Oh boy. Oh hey, there's a spaceship hidden in here. I made these a lot less common, by the way. Space llama. I want to check and make sure. Oh yeah, the back covers it properly now. Well, at least there's one positive, you know? Default fluid is not air, it's water. Oh, that is a bit laggy. Aha. Whoa. That's so bright. Are you blinded? I am. Oh my goodness. Wait, let me pull up my FPS. 42, 37, 19. Oh, that's not what you want to hear. Oh yeah, I'm gonna drown. Oh my goodness, swim faster! Do you ever just take off like all your armor and your weapons and all your gear just to sort of feel stronger and more powerful? You know, like things aren't challenging enough. I like to do that too, you know? Because, you know, I don't need any items. Okay, we should probably delete everything in there. Okay. Oh, now we just swim around though instead of the whole gravity thing. That's not super amazing. Okay, I've tried something different here. And the background looks different, I think, to me, unless I'm crazy. But what I did here... Oh, spoilers! Okay, what I did here... Oh, there's more spoilers. Okay, so I filled everything with void air. So what we can do is we can actually test if there's void air at our head. Okay, technically this is at our feet, but whatever. And then if we hop into... I don't have a pickaxe. If we hop inside of here, we should be able... I actually don't think he can pathfind on the carpet, which is a little sad. But I think... Yeah, test failed. So it's two different kinds of air, which is exactly what we need. Test failed. Oh, because I'm standing on carpet. There we go. Okay, so test passed. That's awesome. It is detecting this, well, you know, right here. It's detecting that as like regular clean air. So we can differentiate how... Excuse you? Oh, wow, I'm all the way back here, too. I should probably just set my spawn here. He must have felt disrespected because I was just ignoring him. Anyway, the cool thing about the void air is we can differentiate between, like, for example, the air here. Because void air only shows up in unloaded chunks and then, like, way, way, way below, you know, in the void. Wow, that was a big shocker. I know. If you need a moment to relax and think about that, I understand. What am I looking for here? I was looking for an ender pearl, but we don't need an ender pearl because we need a way to use this information. So this was kind of the thing I wanted to avoid. I always want to avoid the scoreboard because I don't know actually why. Maybe just because it takes more setup and stuff. I don't even remember, honestly, at this point. I just don't like the scoreboard. But it has its place. Objective. You know, we should actually differentiate it. Just in case there's another thing of oxygen. Okay, Oh! What? Wait. Air? What? Hang on, my brain exploded a little bit. This is not useful to us, right? Well, whatever. We're making a thing and slapping it on the sidebar. Does that mean if I, like, go in here? What? This is so useless to us. We already established that the air thing isn't useful. That is extremely cool and totally useless. Unless this works, then yeah, okay. It's read only. Yep, that makes sense. Yeah, okay, so it is totally useless to us, but that is a really cool thing to know. I mean, you can slap the air value into a scoreboard. But what we're gonna do is we are going to make a dummy. I'm going to realize that I only have one command block instead of the two like I thought might actually... Oh, that's not a pressure plate. I thought the light gray carpet. We don't have anything to trigger it. That's fine. So basically, whenever we're in air, we'll add, I don't know, say 1 to our oxygen score. So we'll just test this right now. So as long as we're in air, then things are ticking up like normal. And then if we're in void air, it stops ticking up. So we could presumably be like ticking it down, for example. Okay, so this was the thing I almost spoiled earlier. Boss bar. So if we add a boss bar, set it to be visible. Nothing changed the boss bar. No, it's not. Players at S. Aha, there we go. It's oxygen. So we we have a bar. So we can set the max number of like how much. So like for air, you know, it was 300. We could increase that. We'll probably mess with this number. For now, we're gonna do 300 because it might make something funny happen. Can we remove the name? Oh, that's kind of weird. And then what we can do here is we can store result in a boss bar. So if we get our score of Talon oxygen, so 626, experiment 626, bam, then, oh, nothing too funny happened. So the max is 300 and we have 626, which means the bar is like off the page. But yeah, based on different values of this boss bar, we could, or actually I guess just based on different values of this scoreboard, we can do different things to the player, like, you know, make them take damage if it's empty or whatever. So as it stands, I'm not a huge fan of the fact that it's on top of the screen. What? Wait, that broke it. That shouldn't have broke it. There it is. Aha, okay. So if we set our scoreboard to be 0, you can see the oxygen bar filling up. It's pretty cool, right? You can see though, it's like, it's a weird, like looking at the top of the screen for that. Yes, okay, it's working. Oh, what? Oh, it just went up. That was weird. Oh, what? It's void air down here, but regular air up there? Oh, you know what? It might be from the carvers. I bet if we go below this line, yeah. So basically it set everything here as void air, and then up here, it replaced the void air with blocks, and then replaced the blocks with regular air. So that should be fixable. I'm not really sure what's going on. I tried a couple things and it didn't work, so we might just ignore that problem. So instead, let's take advantage of it and let's look at how fast the bar goes down, because that's going to determine how high we set the max, basically. So we watch that bar go up and it's like, you know, a few seconds. The refill isn't so bad, but then like if we're just like wandering around, like we're looking around like, oh, this is a cool area. You know, how long do we want the player to last if they don't have any equipment? Which, by the way, I actually have an idea for some equipment that will improve things. But I mean, like, that's not very long. So I'm thinking about increasing it. There's another idea that I had too. So this one's kind of interesting. This gets into the map maker realm. So, you know, let's say we're losing oxygen. What if there were things in the environment that could regain our oxygen? Oh, dearie me. So my idea was we could actually use the sculk sensors to refresh some of our oxygen, and this would create a trade-off, which is a big thing for map makers. And one of the challenges with like having all these sculk sensors and shriekers is you'll notice he can't hear me. It's not unless I collide with a surface that he knows where I am. So if I am forced to, say, get oxygen from these little plant thingies. Oh, he might just be having issues moving around. Well, anyway, sculk sensors kind of look like plants. Like maybe they generate some oxygen from carbon dioxide. You know how that works? So it could make sense if we like, say if we stand on them and collide with them, if we get some oxygen back. So let's just give it a test here. We want to be able to differentiate between whether we're standing on a block or just hovering above it. Here we go. I had to bring it up just a little bit. So test failed, shift down, test passed. So that should make sure that we have to be in contact with the sculk sensor. So it forces us to basically trade oxygen for the danger of a warden, which right now is not very dangerous, but presumably eventually it will be. Okay, here's our command. And then I'll just add the thing that gives us more oxygen. Oh, how much oxygen should we add? Well, we're going to mess with this anyway, so I'll just put it at 20 right now. And we'll call that good. Because the thing that we need to consider is, like, is this max number? Do me. All right, we're going to use a test objective to figure out how long we should go. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. You see that number running over there? What we're going to do is we're going to run this thing. All I have to do is, if I reset, it'll start from the beginning. And then when we're done, we're going to teleport immediately back into the overworld. And that should stop the timer. And so that should give us a sense of how long we want the oxygen to last. It'll allow it to be a bit more intuitive. So let's start our test now. All right, so we'll say that we're just kind of wandering around here. Oh, you know, maybe there's a warden showing up. Just kind of looking around. Maybe now we notice that our oxygen's going down. We're like, uh-oh. Let's try and get to something because presumably, you know, the player at this point doesn't necessarily know that the sculk sensors give oxygen. Oh, actually, that's another question. How are the players going to know that sculk gives oxygen? But we'll say maybe they get over to here. They should be kind of low at this point. Maybe even taking damage already. Like, what was that? Like 800. And then they should be out of oxygen by now. Oh, that's like 1200. That was a little bit generous, I would say. Okay, that gives us a number to work with though. 1200. So we're going to set the max here, and it's going to be 1200 times 4 because of something that we'll get to here shortly. So we'll just leave it at the generous number of 12,000 times 4. And then we're going to modify our other numbers to match here. There's a lot of sculk sensors, so I don't think it needs to be super long. So we'll do 100, and then we'll do times 4. All these numbers are going to be times 4 for now. Removing oxygen will also be 4. This is really where the times 4 matters. So if it's removing 4 every tick, we want it to restore a lot faster, so we could do 12-ish. I think would be good. Okay, here we go. This is our new bar. Takes a little bit longer to fill up. I think we could increase the fill speed. Yeah, the suffocation is... Wow, it actually looks pretty fast still. We definitely have a lot more time. Dude, look. Just visually, that looks terrifying. Oh, we should try landing on some sculk here. Oh, it just keeps adding if we are standing on it. And now we're at 63,000. Okay, then. That's a little too much, I guess. But I feel like the speed is a lot better. It's scary, but you have time to do some stuff. You have time to kind of save your own skin. But I have some ideas for how we can modify this further. So let's head back. I don't know why I've been trying to keep this a secret, because I feel like you guys have probably already guessed it. But what if we have respiration? I feel like that's a really natural way that we could increase the, like, how long you can stay breathing or whatever. We could potentially add water breathing too, depending on how hard this is. But basically your oxygen will go down slower if you have higher respiration. So I think that that'll be a cool addition. And then that's why we're multiplying everything by 4, because then it's like respiration 3 would be -1 each tick. Respiration 2 would be -2. If you don't have any helmet on, that'd be -4. And those are the same ratios that water does, by the way. So excellent. This is the command that gives us or well, number one, checks that we have respiration, and number two, we can retrieve what level of it. So if we do something like this, if data, test passed, and then we check this on the ground, and test failed. Excellent. Oh, wait a second, duh. All we have to do for the sculk thing, this is the sculk thing here, rather than adding 400, we need to be thinking in terms of every tick. So I feel like 4 every tick might be okay. If I was an opt player in creative mode. I was gonna do it again. Unbelievable. There we go. Third time is the charm. We need to be really careful with this helmet. I do not want to make another one of these. Ooh, look at how much slower it's going down. It's working. Yeah, so we can survive a lot longer out here if we have a Respiration 3 helmet, which just makes all kinds of sense. Let's see about the shulker thing we updated. Yeah, so it kind of regens as we're standing on it. Duh, that should have been obvious to me. Well, hello there. Get me out of here. Oh, we need to make the wardens a little bit more dangerous. I thought that their pathfinding was good to go, but it seems they can't really track me down very good. Okay, what next? Well, we need to take suffocation damage. Oh, look at that. Yeah, you can really easily see going down pretty fast, going down a lot slower. Awesome. But yeah, we need suffocation damage when we run out of air. There's a cool command. Actually, let's do that outside of the command block here. There's a cool command called /damage. And we're not going to go crazy into it. All we really need is the fact that we can add in drowning damage, for example, or suffocation. Oh, I guess maybe suffocation is drowning damage? Oh, it'd probably be in wall. Oh, we could also do out of world. I believe in wall is going to give us the best results. So we'll do in wall, which we can just do that. And if we do like, say, this, if we do 100, do we just get... Oh, it says suffocated in a wall. I was kind of hoping it would say just suffocated. But you can see how we can use like very normal things, normal death messages, that is, to integrate really easily into this whole setup here. I don't know what this is from. Something something was pummeled by something something. Apparently, if you don't give it the at and by, this one gets really confused. Was squished too much. So I feel like this one, Talon left the confines of this world, or potentially we could just do generic, which is a little boring, but because the other ones say like in wall, drowned, you know, it doesn't quite make sense. I suppose we could do freeze since it's space. I do like left the confines of this world because we're like in space, so then it's like it kind of makes sense. So in terms of how much damage we should do, it's going to be doing this much every tick. So we probably want it to do like that much. We might need to test this. So what was that called? Outside border. All right. So just to check stuff, I'm going to remove this score check, which is, it basically just checks for, are we low enough? We'll just set that to P. Are we low enough to... like, is our oxygen low enough, basically? Oh, you'll notice the oxygen bar is gone as well. Oh, I guess that is too little damage. I feel like 1 is too much, though. Man, it is really annoying with it just constantly applying damage. It's so janky because we have regeneration. Okay, I do not like the fact that it's like... Oh, I can't even get back there. Run! Turn it off, turn it off. Whoo. Do not want those command blocks to despawn. Those are expensive. Aha. Okay, so there's a tag called hurt time. So we can check if it is 0, and then only apply stuff if it is. There we go, hurt time. See how that is. Turn it on. That's happening pretty quick. So check out the 0. The 0 is when we're taking damage, and you'll notice all the alwayses that are in between there. So it's not triggering every tick. So it is working, it's just not super obvious. So that at least is a little better. We could try that. All right, so the suffocation is gonna be the last thing that we do. So let's give it a test. But you'll notice how the oxygen bar pops in when we come in here now. Also, I made it be an actual like name and like it's colored and stuff, so that should be cool. Oh, this will be interesting. Okay, so we're out of oxygen. Oh, we definitely cannot make it to that ship. That's what I was curious about. All right, so we'll refill it just a little bit. Why are you shrieking? There must be a phantom or somebody. I have to be careful because if I go up too high, there's actually regular air up there. Oh, this is one of those weird ships. Ow. Oh man, we're dying. Come on. Oh yeah, nice. We refill oxygen in there. That's cool. That's what I wanted. Obviously the husk, the husk was having none of it. Well, there you have it. A fun little oxygen mechanic. Another warden. Dude, my warden like alert level must be so high. Left the confines of this world. There it is. I'm plenty happy with what we made. I think it's a pretty cool little thing. So I think that is going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed the work on the oxygen mechanic, and I hope you guys enjoy this space dimension. We've been doing a lot of work on it. I've been seeing some good ideas in the comments too. Somebody was suggesting a space station, which would be very cool in here, and I think would work great with our oxygen mechanic. I am so sick of blindness. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me, you guys. I'll catch you in the next one. It's another war. Oh dear. Later.